Hello friends, I finally have a full-length mirror in my studio and I want to relish in the simple joy of tailoring. Please drop off something that needs adjustment so I can remind myself how empowering it is to sew. That sounds more selfish than I intended. You of course will have a freshly tailored item. Hi Wendy, I'm hoping this one gets you in that back to basics mood. I looked up the two most common alteration requests and it is hemming and taking in a waistline. So here you go, this lounge set needs both. Hopefully this is a quick one. I gotta thread my bobbin. Stops by itself. Comes with a knife. The muscle memory from my old machine is so strong. Like there's so many great features this Bernina has, just like little built-in knives everywhere to cut your fabric for you. I'm trying to remember them all because it's so nice. I'm gonna go for copying the previous hem. So it looks like they had an overlocked edge and then two straight top stitches. If I chose a really good thread, I will try to replicate this, but if the color is just a little bit off, then I may do a blind hem instead. The top used to have these little side slits, but now that it's shorter, I just don't think wind vents will be necessary. First, let's overlock the edge. Now this edge won't fray, it's looking clean, and I also do think I picked a pretty good thread color, so I'm gonna do 2 parallel stitches to top stitch this closed. Trying out something fancy to reduce bulk. When this part is folded over, it'll get really thick because there's a lot of fabric stacked up together. But if you add a little snip, we can get these ones to go in opposite directions. A little less bulky, so I'm gonna give that a try. I'm also trying out this little gift I got from Silly Moon. I'll put a link in the description. This matches the fold over I'm aiming for, so I'm just using it as a guide. Coming back to this project today, and that is a good looking edge. Wow, I want to do a blind test. Well, it's like the opposite of a blind test. You know what I mean. A sight test. No, vision test. One of these is the original hem, and one of these is the new hem that I did. Vote now in the comments which one you think is mine. Next is the pants. When it comes to taking in a waist, there's a lot of different ways to do it, and for me it just comes down to process of elimination of all the things I don't want to touch. Like if there was a fly in the front, I don't really want to mess with that. This one has pockets on the side, happy with those. Often I end up in the middle of the back, which is not great. Sometimes there's a belt loop there or something a little complicated, but I guess it's just like the lesser evil. This time the front middle, the back middle are both available. So based on trying it on and looking at where the most fabric is, I actually want to take away fabric from the front middle. Okay, let's see what we're dealing with back here. Love what I'm seeing. Flipping it open, I find that the elastic was just sealed to the raw edge of the fabric and then just simply turned inside and sewn down. This is so straightforward. Feels like I hit the lottery. I'm gonna flip the pants inside out. Does anyone have any tips for washing clothes to like really get rid of the thrift smell? I think I've done a decent enough job with going through the wash, but I really want to seal the deal. Yeah, sometimes when I get close, there's still a bit of like an old fabric smell. Now that it's inside out, I'm gonna pinch away fabric in the front center seam, going in about 3 centimeters, so removing 6 centimeters in total. Hopefully the camera's picking it up. I've got about 3 centimeters taken in here, tapering down to 0 once I got to the crotch. This is a good time to try it on. This is where you make the decision to keep taking away more fabric, or if you're good. Even though it's an elastic and it's flexible, I actually find it's still hard to gauge sometimes. I think it could be a bit tighter. If it's too loose, it could still slide down if you're being really active, but if it's too tight, I don't know if anyone relates to this, but I get a tummy ache, I get indigestion as soon as I'm wearing pants that are too tight. Alrighty, I think I'm gonna trim off all the excess and then overlock stitch the raw edge so it's nice and clean. Before I fold this down to hide it away, I'm gonna do that snipping thing again because there's even more bulk this time due to the elastics. Making sure these raw seams go their separate ways. And fold. I'm gonna close it off with 2 top stitches. Wendy. I thrifted this dress, loved it, but I couldn't get the zipper closed. At the time, I was still adjusting to a postpartum body, so I kept it around to see if things would change, but now I've decided I would like this dress to be sized up. You can do that, right? This is a hard one. I didn't want the whole tailoring and mending video to be about making things smaller. Obviously, that's the easier road to go when it comes to sewing. But this dress claims to be a size 8 and I'm a size 6 and it's just way too small for me. It has to be like a European sizing thing or something I'm not aware of. It's very intimidating. I'm gonna try my best. Similar to the pants, let us assess what we are working with. And by that, what I mean to say is things are not looking good. This dress has a lot of interesting cuts and shapes. From about here to here, the zipper does not close. So we're looking to add something in this area of the dress primarily. I don't have more of this lace. I don't really want to mess with the cut of this because everything is working out so smooth. It's also the front of the dress, so anything that's done here is high commitment because it is front and center. Flipping over to the back. So if there was one center seam, that might have been the easiest place to add an extra strip of fabric, but there's 2 seams instead, so that's like a weird amount of doubled work, which leaves me to the sides. This invisible zipper work is so good though. I feel like this is where I have to go in. Hopefully there are no professional tailors in the comments screaming at me right now. I've got this tiny bit of black chiffon fabric left over. I'm going to cut out some triangles. So I'm trying to draw a triangle, but it needs to meet a couple of requirements. I'm aiming for the triangle to be about 5 centimeters wide on the top because I need a total give of about 10 centimeters on this dress, and I'm inserting a triangle on both sides of the body. Then I need one of the straight edges of the triangle to match up with the existing black paneling, while the other long edge is going to be joined to the pink fabric. I cut out 2 triangles from the black chiffon. Then I realized I needed a pink underlayer to better match the dress. So I also cut out 2 pink triangles that are just going to subtly hide behind the black chiffon. And then I realized I needed to cut 2 more triangles to form the inner lining. So there's 3 layers in total. If I had fabric that matched the lining of the dress, I would have used that. But I don't, so I'm just gonna go for a fun little black accent on the inside as well. I'm very intimidated, but all we can do is go a step at a time. I'm gonna baste together the chiffon with the pink so that that is one complete layer. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good about that so far. Thank you to this video's sponsor. They are a longtime partner. They're my favorite way to thrift on the internet. ThredUp is back and they're making it even easier than ever to thrift online. ThredUp is an online thrift store, so it's everything I love about thrifting, plus the power of the internet. You can now search for your size only, sort by price, filter for colors, brands, styles, fabrics that you're interested in. And everything on there is up to 90% off estimated retail price. To give you a bit of inspo flavor, here's what I found recently. My first find came purely from the ThredUp search bar. I typed in leather skirt, something that I've been looking for to round out my wardrobe. And I found this Banana Republic skirt. I love the silver hardware, the simple brown suede just makes it super versatile. Can't say I'm a huge tights girl, but this skirt made me instantly want to bring out the tights. On ThredUp, they'll show the estimated retail price, which for this one was an estimated $265, but on ThredUp listed for $67.99. The next thing you better make sure you do when you're on ThredUp is to input your size so you only see clothes that fits you. This is especially important if you're looking for shoes. I don't want to waste time looking at cute shoes that just end up not fitting me. Instead, I found this pastel sporty pair of sneakers by Ash. Again, a very versatile find. They actually have a little bit of lift in the heel, which gives me that stomp sneakers feeling. Highly technical fashion term. The estimated retail price on these was $178, but on ThredUp, $57.99. If you appreciate some of the performance benefits of natural fibers, wool, silk, linen, you can filter by those exact materials on ThredUp, and that's how I found this cashmere tank top. Very cute and versatile for transition seasons. This one is by the brand Nadam. I can picture myself wearing it over and under outfits easily. It's an estimated retail price of $153, but on ThredUp, just $44.99. Recently, I finally gave up on this one pair of culottes I had that I loved so much, but I got a horrible coffee stain on them, and so I found my replacement. This, just like my previous favorite pair, are striped gathered culottes. It does have a little extra cargo pocket, which I love, and this one is by Nomia. Actually, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pockets. Okay. The word of the day is versatile. I've become a sucker for how culottes can be worn in the winter with a pair of leggings and tall boots, and in the summertime they're so breezy and comfortable. This pair was an estimated retail price $375, but on ThredUp $63.70. Okay, I'm bringing you guys back into the studio because the winter light is so sad. My last stop on ThredUp is always to check out the kids section. Secondhand clothing with children works so well because they grow so fast. So everything they own, they only wear for a little bit of time anyways. I got this super adorable little Carhartt beanie. It's perfect for keeping Marla cozy and warm all throughout spring. Perhaps she can even wear it next year because it is only sold in one size and a nice stretchy knit. Estimated retail price $18, on ThredUp $12.99. Click the link in the description to shop my picks, get a little inspiration, and don't forget to use code WENDY for 35% off your first order. Happy thrifting. I want to open up the dress and see what I'm working with. I'm dreading this part. I'm gonna do the side that has no zipper first. How many of you cut off the hanger ribbons as soon as you get an item? My issue is I keep them, but I actually almost never use them. So they're just these annoying things that I constantly have to tuck out of the way. I can now see what I'm working with. Weirdly, my hope level is increasing. I don't know what that means. So I've got the lining and the pink layer, right sides together, and then opening it up, pushing the raw fabric towards the lining. I'm doing an understitch. That gets us this outcome. It's time for some surgery and I'm scared. Good morning to my operational team. Today is the implant portion of the surgical procedure. I have the implant prepared. I'm just going right sides together. Yes. I mean, I'll try my best. Okay. Right sides together, I sewed my insert to the side of the dress, started from this bottom corner, went up to the middle, got it all aligned. Oh, okay, now you want to come up here, and then carried, okay, I see. And now repeat sewing this side of the insert to the other side of the opening. I feel like that's pretty subtle. Here's the inside. It feels like a little decorative feature. It's gonna look so much better after I give it a press. Obviously I have to give it a try before I embark on the zipper side, but like it's not even a real try because it's only 50% of the expanding that I need. Tucking these out of the way. It is zipping higher than before. It would probably zip even higher if I wasn't wearing something underneath. Can you tell it's been modified? I feel like this is a pretty slick job. Let's do this side. I don't need to seam rip anything on this side, but this is the side that will be changed forever. I have seam ripped the zipper out of the fabric. My neck is sore. I feel like I really need to work on my seam ripping body posture. Here's how my little attachment looks. Pretty happy with it. I'm going to get out the zipper foot. One-hander. Here's that opening zipper. Just gonna slide it right into the gap, seal it in. Wow. If it goes that great, I will be thrilled. She zips. It's a little bulky here. I'm gonna go inside and cut out some excess material. Nice. Oh my gosh. Let's try it on. Dear Wendy, I keep hearing about how good tailoring makes an outfit look more expensive, but what does that mean? Are you saying this thrifted turtleneck sweater would look more high-end with a few passes through a sewing machine? Would love to see how this is possible. If you've ever thrifted a knit sweater, feel like this last one is for you. Knit materials, they can just kind of change shape over time. And often, I feel like bagginess in the arm area is an issue I face. I'm wearing it inside out right now, and I think this will be a pretty quick and easy fix. So I can just pinch all of the parts that feel like there's too much fabric and just sew them away. I've got about 1 centimeter. I'm trying to ditch in the front stuff back here. There's an excess of fabric here too. Oh, and the last thing I'm trying to touch too. The shoulder technically is a little big on me. Scale it so that the shoulder hits exactly on my shoulder. I say it's easy, but after years of thrifting turtlenecks, I have never done this modification. Took a first stab at it and was a bit on the conservative side. I'm going to take away some more from the front and I'm going to hike the shoulder. Okay, I'm back again. There's like a precision issue where I have to make sure I tuck away this one. This one needs to get tucked away. And then over here, this one too, it just like forms a weird shape if it's not handled. I think I'm done here. This is a surprising amount of fabric to whittle away. So I'm going to give this a snip and close it all up with a blanket stitch. Obviously this is very different from the way that knit items are actually joined together, but at this point the stretch is irreversible, so I'm just altering so that it fits me, and then I'm happy with it. Okay, let's try. Still feels baggy here. I wonder if I should like pinch this way. Okay. Here's how it looked before, and here's how it is now. Shoulder hits a little bit better, smoother in the front and the back. I'm willing to continue and do it to the other side now. Although part of me is now thinking this is like giving only half of your head a haircut and then hoping the other half turns out symmetrical. Don't think I can finagle with this sweater anymore, so I'm gonna call it a wrap here. It's not perfect, but I do think it's better. Don't forget to shop my ThreadUp picks with the link below and use code Wendy to get 35% off your first order. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know sewing can sometimes lead to extravagant and fantastical projects, but sometimes just the simple things of adjusting things so they fit you better is so satisfying. I hope you guys are well. I am hiring right now for people to join my team, so check out the link in the description if you want to learn more about that. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.